What's going on? Kibo's Garage up in this beach. 2018 Aprilia Tuono. About 28,000 kilometers, 1100 RR. Had a run-in where we were riding. I was riding the bike, my buddy was riding the bike, but it literally just shut off on him. Not fully dead. It was basically almost like you turned the key off. It showed like the logo, and then dead, and then he tried to turn it back on. Screen was black. Ignition, you went to turn it on, nothing would happen. The lights still turned on. The brake lights still worked. It was kind of weird, but like no fuel pump prime, no crank noises, no nothing when you tried hitting the starter. So we brought it home. We slowly dismantled the front fairing. It's still clearly kind of on the bike. Everything's kind of loose and jangly. But if you look up here, there's two little screws, right? They go here. There's one on the bottom side as well. Lefty loosey baby. And yeah, we just found that one of these solder wires came undone. There's a few videos on YouTube from like 10 years ago that, there's a few videos on YouTube that show the previous gen having a similar issue. I'll just run you through what we kind of did here in order to like kind of diagnose this bitch. So starting, obviously test the battery for voltage. There's a fuse box here. These are like the accessory. I guess this is the main fuse. There's one here, 30 amp fuse. People say that blow and whatever else. AI says there's a fucking another fuse box somewhere, but I couldn't find it. Anyways, after checking all of these and made sure there's continuity in all of the fuses. So even if they looked clear, they just wanted to make sure like there was still voltage running through them. Everything seemed okay. So after that, we lifted the fuel tank. There are a bunch of connectors, not fuses, that are under there that people say may wiggle loose. So we just double checked all of those. They all seemed fine. Then we were like, all right, what's next? Had a buddy jiggle the ignition wire and the screen turned on. So we didn't know where the brake was, what the issue was, but after some YouTube videos and seeing that the ignition wire that broke underneath, we decided to start there. Took those two Phillips screws out, and found a broken wire. And now we're just gonna solder it back on, and pray to God everything goes well after this. All right, peace. Action. All right. Once I explained previously, there's those two bolts holding it in. Then there's three clips that are here. They're here, 1, 2. There's one on this side. Anyways, you can see them here, right? You just get okay, one's broken. I don't know which one it is, but anyway, just get a little screwdriver, pry these up, and then it should come out straight down. There's one on the back side here that gave us a little bit of trouble. I don't think there's one on this side. So it's just the three holding it in. Once you get those three out, then you're able to drop it down. Then we just have it zip tied here. We're just gonna take, so you can see the red and black wire here is the one that's broken. Sorry, I'll tilt it this way. Red and black, it's supposed to go there. And then we're just gonna solder it in. This method eliminates us having to drill out that security bolt that's right there. That security bolt, right? So no dremeling, no nothing. It can stay, the triple tree, all that shit can stay on. Oops. All that stuff can stay on. And hopefully should have the bike back together. Not today. Sweet. That's it. Oh yeah, also disconnect the battery. So we soldered that loose wire back on. The solder we were trying to use wasn't sticking on it. So what we did was basically just heated the wire up and the solder, the pre-existing solder that was already there. And then just kind of like shoved the wire in there and then cool it off, and it stuck. And we're like, all right, cool. So we're like, all right, let's test this. Took the screen, plugged the screen back in, And then we also make sure keynote, reconnect the battery, right? So this is our test to see if this thing works. Key on. Screen's working. That's a good sign, which it was not doing before. Hit it.